Annyeonghaseyo, hello everybody, welcome to Klanglife. He is Nicolas Bringuier의. I'm a French pianist and I've been teaching for the past 3 years in South Korea in the Inje University in Kimhae. And I'm extremely happy that through this platform I have a possibility to share with you some insights and to discuss some topics about classical music and more especially piano. So my very first topic is gonna to be, what is interpretation about? What is the mission of an interpret in the classical music world? So I thought that before I speak too much, the best way is first to play for you something, and then we'll discuss afterwards this topic. So I decided to record for you a piece I've never played before, especially for Klanglife platform, the Chopin Nocturne in F sharp major, number 5. So now I'm asking myself, how is it possible that from just a score, you see with black and white, with many signs on it, that we achieve this, that on the end we have something sounding and coming to your ears, to your brain, to your heart. How a composer could put his ideas in a score, and my mission is now to try to understand his ideas, his musical ideas and his feelings, and to bring it to life. And I think that's the very essential mission of an interpret. We are not composing the music, it's not my own piece. This piece was composed by Frédéric Chopin. And when I'm playing it, who am I? I could say I am a kind of medium between the composer and the public. So I have to delve into the inner world of Frédéric Chopin. I have to try to let his music resonate with my own life, my thoughts, my feelings. So as close as I can, I have to understand what he put it into this score. So how can we do it? I think the most essential quality of an interpret of classical music, a performer, even if I don't like so much this word, I prefer much more the word interpreter. The essential quality is to ask questions to a score. And that's what we are now going to do together. So I open this score, and first of all, I know I play a nocturne. So what is a nocturne? The first composer who wrote nocturne for the piano was John Field, an Irish pianist. And Chopin met him, and he was very inspired by his music, and he decided himself to write 19 nocturnes or 20 nocturnes. So the essential idea in this word is night. Nocturne is a music inspired by night. So what happened in the night? We are dreaming. Night is usually associated with mystery. Night is associated with love. And especially this piece, I think, is full, especially in the middle part, of passion, but also there is a great sense of mystery in it. So we could imagine a romance, something happening at night. And now I get another information. Chopin wrote on the beginning larghetto. So it gives an information about the tempo of the piece. What is exactly larghetto? It means it's a little bit slower than adagio, but a little bit faster than largo, which is the slowest possible tempo. So still, there is this feeling of something which is not totally static. And then in the middle part, Chopin wrote doppio movimento, which means twice as fast as before. And we have this great passionate phrase which is developing. So now, of course, I have notes, but I always say, please do not focus on a single note. I would make a small metaphor. It's like in the literature of when you are speaking a language, you have letters. With these letters, you make words. With these words, you make sentences. Then you make chapters, and then you can make a whole book. And in the music, we have notes. These notes together, connected with bows, are making motifs. These motifs together makes also phrases. And then you have different sections. In this piece, for example, we had 3 sections. It's like A, B, A. So in the first section, you have several phrases, and mostly musical phrase is made out of 8 bars. So when I first study the piece, I try first to make sense for me of the architecture of the piece, of the form, the structure, where the phrase ending, where the new section beginning, and so on and so on. So I would say the score is like, perhaps the tale, The Sleeping Beauty. So the score is always, for me, a sleeping beauty. I have to bring it to life. And what is life in music is sound. So I have, through all the informations I can get, to bring all these signs into sound and during a certain amount of time. So I would say music has some qualities of a language, and that make it understandable, and some qualities of what I would call magic, the magical world, because not everything is understandable. Through music, you can move people, you can move them to tears, you can make them smile, so you can, from your brain, your heart, you can give them some emotions. And I think music is always playing between these two different sides, language and magic. So now what makes the difference between just playing what is in the text and a powerful interpretation? I think it's when you achieve to make the music sound as if you were yourself composing it. And in order to do this, you have to come extremely close to the inner world of the composer. Because each composer has his own language, his own ways of using all the different notation systems in the music. So for example, a bow has a different meaning in the music of Bach, or in the music of Mozart, and the music of Chopin. And the same dynamic signs, you will have, for example, a small accent in Haydn music is very different than in Brahms music, and so on. So you have to understand how each composer is using the signs. Then you have also to cultivate your inner world, because it's through fantasy, through imagination, that I can grasp what the composer was living, what was his experience, and that I can come closer to it. Of course, the best way is to read a lot about composers, not only just biography, but for example, I know that Chopin had close connections with Delacroix. Chopin had close connections with Georges Sand. They were living together for a while. So he was also a friend of Balzac. So through all these ideas, I can come closer to the world of Chopin. So I was discussing this nocturne, and also I try to show you how do I get the information I need to build my interpretation. So of course, that's the topic I will have in my second video. I reach this result through practicing, and I will explain in my second video what practicing really means and how you can step by step improve the quality of your practicing. But the first step usually I do when I open the score is, without putting my hand on the piano, to try to get all this background information I'm talking about. For example, I hear also on the bar 11 Leggero, and then Dolcissimo on the bar 18. And this come again, this very, very small note Chopin is writing, for example, in the bar 51, Leggerissimo. And it gives me the information that Chopin was, when he was probably first trying this piece out, it was through improvisation. Chopin was a great improviser. And you can see there are many elements of an improvisation of this music. So when I play, I have to get this sense of rhythmic freedom. Another thing, I can see some great contrast, because just after Leggerissimo, which means very, very light, you have con forza with strength. So in this piece, we have really a very big spectrum of emotions between this extremely light, extremely sensible, and this power. I think it's a great mistake that many people think Chopin was somehow weak or always sick, and there is this tuberculosis that he had. But I think he was also an extremely strong personality. Even sometimes there were some pieces like the Third Sonata or some preludes which are even violent in a sense. And it's very important in Chopin's psychology to get all this element of his psychological way of thinking and of feeling. So to finish this video, I would ask everybody who is playing music and who is not only piano but any kind of instrument, but is that whenever you open a new score, don't just think about the notes written there, but try always to establish a connection with a composer. Try, not just try, but love this composer. It's through love for the music you are playing, for the composer you are playing, that you can increase also the quality of your playing. So always think that you are not the one who created this music, but you are a medium between the audience and the composer. Thank you very much. 안녕히 계세요.